Hi there, and welcome to episode 11 of a GIM Story. Wanted to start out today with some clues. So I had some beginners, easy, medium, hard, and elites. No masters this time round, as they're quite hard for me to get and complete. I've only done 3 or 4 maybe total on the account. So we'll blast through the first 3 tiers, as I said before, until we get onto that boot drop table on the medium clues. I'm not really going to be excited for any uniques that we get. So we've just opened up all the mediums. We did get one unique that'll just go in the house. The same with the ancient kite shield that we've just got there. Another Zamorak plate skirt. I think I've got most of the Zamorak collection now. We did pull a musketeer tabard from the elites, which I believe it's quite rare to get any uniques from the elite clue scroll table, so I'm happy to get that on the account. Completing another book here with the Saradomin page 3, and then one step closer to completing the Zamorak book with that page as well. So all around, not a bad set of clues. I can't complain with that. So I just wanted to touch on the fact that I am still doing all these farm runs fully extended out into all of the different patches. We did manage to hit 97 farming on this one with the Calquat tree. Can't wait to finish off those levels and then just scale it back down to what's essential for the progression towards maxing the account. So me and my partner Gumption wanted to start doing perhaps some more advanced PVM. So we wanted to start doing stuff together, hopefully leading up to maybe doing God Wars or something along that lines later down the line. So the first thing we wanted to do, as the Wilderness boss drop rework had just come out, we wanted to try and do KQ to try and go for the Dragon Pickaxe, being a 1 in 400 from the boss. So we did gear up for a sort of a hybrid of range and melee. I tried sort of doing what I'd done before, which is see with the tile markers, to try and lure the KQ into some kind of safe spot that we could flinch it, but that didn't really work. So I just sort of got it round that we'd sort of safe spotted the Guardians, called Gumption over, and we just smacked down the first stage with relative ease. The same with the second phase. You know, it wasn't, we were putting out decent damage, but the problem I found with this boss, and I think a lot of even max players find, is it just deals so much damage that you can't avoid. So even though we got this kill relatively quickly, it took a drain on our supplies. You see there that, you know, I finished the kill with 2 shocks remaining, and that wasn't something that was practical for us to keep doing. So we decided that because the rework had reduced the drop rate from the KVD, that was always something that we both sort of tried to do on Slayer tasks, is we'd go and kill however many black dragons at KVD, because it's just an easy way to go and do a boss that, you know, you probably wouldn't do otherwise. So we decided we'd gear up and go and duo the KBD. Myself being in full range, some discount gear with the Black D hide, but trying to maximise with the boot, coif, and fury. But because my attack wasn't quite high enough to be able to hit consistently with the whip, whereas Gumption has in the 90s for his attack, so he's a lot more accurate than me. So he went with his initiate or proselyte prayer gear, sorry, and as many sort of items as he could to bring in, or felt comfortable bringing in for that short run through the wilderness. So we did 6 quite long trips over a few days, maybe a couple of weeks, and we managed in total together to get 371 KC. So we're approaching that 1 in 1,000 drop, but we're still not quite there. And as you just saw in that last clip and coming up on this clip, the only unique drops we managed to get was 2 sets of KBD heads, which most people would probably be like, oh, it's so annoying. For us, it's kind of something cool we might be able to recolor Slayer helms with. Unfortunately, they were both in Gumption's name. I haven't managed to achieve any uniques yet. So with that said, I thought to myself, I was going out and flinching the Chaos LE to try and get the Dragon Pickaxe, and it wasn't really working. So maybe I'll try some of these reworked bosses. So I tried Calvaria, the weaker version of Vetion. If you're good at it, you might be able to get the damage down to nothing, because it is completely avoidable as long as you stay within or away from his 2 attacks. So the first one being the lightning, you have to stay within or away 2 tiles from it in order to take no damage. Then the same with the shield bash attack. As long as you get out of that range, you won't take any damage. I still had a bit to learn on it, but I was getting there by the end of all of these KC that you're seeing now. He has 2 phases, the same as the normal Vetion. Kill the Hellhounds when he spawns them at half health, then you can go back and finish him off. I was getting quite lucky that because I waited a little while before I tried to go and kill Calvarion, that there wasn't that many PKers. So I managed to get 25-ish KC before getting the Ring of the Gods. And coming up now, it's a bit of a live reaction that I had when I managed to grab that drop. Not the drop we were expecting to get, but a nice ring all the same. That's definitely a good one to have. You can use that on all the prayer, on all the prayer tasks now. I'm a bit surprised about that, but yeah, no, Ring of the Gods on KC26. So after getting so lucky and getting a 1 in 512 loot at 26 KC, I didn't want to go back to the wilderness. So I thought I'd come back and open some more clue scrolls for you. So we had some beginner, easy, and mediums, which we'll blast through because no one wants to see those. A couple of helpful uniques from these, especially the medium. I think on this next one we pull a Bandos Stole, which is fantastic for me as that's the last thing I needed for my hard stash units. Then we had a couple more hards and 5 elites, which is actually quite an amount to have stacked up over quite a short amount of time. Some more uniques that will just plop back into the POH. Others that will just come back into my tab for Alkin. So we'll get through these elites as these will have the higher value for us for Alkin and just general bank value. So we did manage to get, after that 25th casket, a Mimic, which I didn't actually record opening of that Mimic. So we just geared up the same as we did in the last video, grabbed the mahogany plank for luck, as everyone always says, leave the place, and all I can say is I did not expect to get the drop that I got. We've managed to just pull some third age. Oh my god. That's literally all of it. I know it's the most common item from the Mimic, and obviously that's my extra reward, but we just got some third age. That's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. But awesome. Yeah, I mean it's only worth a mil and a half, but yeah, awesome. Great collection log item for the account. So yeah, no, we've got a master clue as well, so we'll try and complete that and on with the next. I think I've got one more elite as well, so enjoy. So we tried and failed to get that master clue. As I said, I don't really get that many, but we did manage to pull on that last one a steel dragon mask, which is great, and the rune crossbow, as everyone always knows, is always a great one to get just for the nostalgia from Swampletics. But for now, that's it for this episode. Until next time.